first quarter, and then things changed after that. To you, what was the biggest shift?
I don't know. This ain't the first time. There's been plenty of games we've been up like that, and teams have so having to come back. We just got to figure it out.
What to you is the key to sustaining the energy and the inspiration throughout an entire game that we see out of this squad in spurts?
I don't know. Sometimes you just got to figure it out while you're out there. Everything is not just, you know, drew up and schemes. Sometimes you got to, figure it out, scratch and claw, and, and win games like this. So, unfortunately, we didn't.
Eric, what makes Utah so difficult to defend? Is it just perimeter or Gobert favors? They're really, really difficult to stop.
They run the offense. Everybody touch the ball, uh, and they play hard. But mainly they run the offense down, to the last shot clock, and try to get a good shot. And that's a good thing to do.
Hey Eric, Christian Clark here with Noel.com. Did you feel like you guys were doing anything different to create the shots that you got in the first quarter as opposed to the last three quarters there? Was there anything different?
We just got comfortable. We got comfortable and complacent because it was up. I felt like in the beginning we was on attack mode on early, and we slowed down. And against this team, you gotta definitely be aggressive the whole time.
What's up, Bled? Just where do you think you guys are right now defensively? Does it feel like you might have taken a step back from where you were earlier in the season?
I think we have our moments. I think we have our moments where we're really, really good. And then I think we go stretches where we just fucking shit. So we just gotta, I don't know, lock in, key in, and just play, play the game.
Christian Clark here again. Donovan Mitchell, I know that's a guy with a lot of talent, but did you feel like there are things you guys could have done to limit him that you weren't able to do these past two games?
Shit, he kicked our ass a lot. Conley had 20. It was, everybody was having fun out there on us. So I don't think it's just one guy that was, obviously had the most points, but there's a lot of players out there, created a lot of stuff for, each and every one of them out there. So I think we just got to lock in defensively as a team and, play hard.
This is Jim from Pelicans.com. Zion, the stretch that he's had the last few games has been pretty unique as far as the amount of points that he's scoring and not taking that many shots to do it. What has been the most impressive to you as far as just how efficient he's been and just the way he finishes around the basket?
Just off the court, how good of a kid he is, how he's want to be great, and his work ethic, that translates to on the court, and it shows a lot. So, he definitely works. So it's nothing new, that I see this, happening on the court to him. We just got to help him out out there.
All right, thank you, Bud. Appreciate it.
right, everybody, we can start with Coach. Jen, you can start off.
Coach, the first quarter looked so good. Those adjustments seemed to be working, and then from the second quarter on, not so much. What in your mind changed?
Well, I mean, our pace offensively slowed down. We didn't play with much pace or force on the offensive end. We quit making shots, and defensively, we really weren't good the entire game. We just weren't. We just don't put any pressure on anybody. I mean, it's very comfortable to play against us. We've got to change our defense. I mean, I'm not saying we don't have some offensive problems, but we can't give up this number of points and have any chance of having a good season. We just can't. And we're going to have to develop a much, 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 much better defensive mentality and pride than we have right now.
For BI, it was a scorching first half, and then that second half, the opposite. No made field goals, just free throws. Could you tell, did they start attacking him differently? Did he just cool off?
He had a great first quarter, and after that, yeah, they played him pretty well. I'll have to watch the film, but yeah, he wasn't a factor in the game after the first quarter.
Coach, can you put your finger on the end of the second quarter? That's the second time in as many nights that basically the latter stage of the second quarter, Utah was able to flip momentum.
Yeah, we don't sustain our play, and when you don't guard, you're totally dependent on making shots. And we hit a stretch there where we didn't make shots, and, it's been a long time since we've really, played any kind of defense that'll weather those kind of storms. And so that's what happened at the end of the second quarter. We missed shots, and we have a total inability to stop anybody.
How do you feel Lonzo Ball played tonight?
Here's the thing. He was okay, but, this isn't an individual thing. It's not some guys are good, some guys aren't. It's not that. It's a collective, we're not defending hard enough. We've got to get a defensive mentality and have some pride on that end of the floor. And on the offensive end, we've got to sustain pace and ball movement and player movement and passing the ball, playing together for the entire night, not just when our shots are falling. And then when it gets tough, we become a stand around isolation one-on-one team. So there are instances of good play. There's certainly the first quarter tonight was really promising in terms of what we can do. But we've got to toughen up and take some responsibility and start doing this on a more consistent basis. And our defense has to come around, or to be quite honest, nothing else matters.
Does it feel like you guys have just taken a serious step back on the defensive end? And is that disappointing considering that was supposed to be an identity for this team coming into the year?
Yeah, I do think we've taken a step back. I don't think that we're taking great pride in it individually or as a group.
And just for you, we didn't get to see it on TV. Can you tell us what happened on the ejection and, what the refs might have told you?
I mean, clearly I had some things to say, and, I got tossed. So there's really not a lot to say, and I'm not really willing to spend $35,000 or $50,000 on those guys.
Hey, Christian Clark here. How difficult is it to do the things you want to do defensively when there are limited practices like this? You're playing every day. How much of a challenge is that part of it?
Well, it is a challenge, but look, our problem right now, in my mind, isn't schematic. It is, and we're trying to make some adjustments. I'm not absolving us from us trying to help, but guard the ball. Get up into people, put some pressure on, guard the ball, don't get beat off the dribble, close out hard, block out, rebound the ball. Come on. We can do that without 2.5 hours every day of practice time. We got to toughen up.
Stan, Scott Kushner from NOLA.com, where does that start? Is there a leader that needs to start with? This team has not been together very long. It doesn't seem like there's a very obvious place for this? Do you put the onus on an individual at this point, or how do you kind of communicate that? And where does it have to? I mean, there has to be a head of the snake at some point, right?
Well, it's supposed to be me, and obviously I'm not getting the job done there, Scott. So that's where I put the onus as far as leadership. But look, you don't need to be together long to go out and put some pressure on the ball and get down and take some pride in containing the ball and to close out hard. You don't need to be together long to do that. Now, schematically and things like that and rotations, okay, there may be some mistakes, but the intensity level, no, you don't need to be together for that.
But I mean, I guess I'm speaking from a pride or whatever perspective. Do you need someone in that locker room to just kind of take control of that? I mean, is it hard to explain that kind of thing for those guys? I mean, obviously, it can't just come from a coach, I would assume.
No, it's got to come from 16 players in the coaching staff. Not one guy. There's not one guy who's going to stand up and motivate everybody or any of that. Every guy needs to take some responsibility on the defensive end of the floor to do their job, and so they can start to trust each other. We don't have enough individual responsibility on the defensive end of the floor.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Dan.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Zion here. Christian Clark, you want to lead us off?
Zion, Christian Clark here with Noel.com. Did you feel like you guys were doing anything differently to create shots in the first quarter as opposed to the last three quarters there?
Yeah, we were moving the ball a lot. Not only were we moving the ball, we were moving off the ball as well. And I think we just got away from that as the game went on.
And I mean, why do you think there was just like that lack of movement in the three quarters?
I guess we got complacent. We got comfortable, and we just didn't stick to it. And we just got to learn to stick to it.
Hey, what's up, Z? I know we've asked this before, but what do you think it's going to take to kind of get some of the...
Yeah, Will, we lost you there for a second.
Oh, you can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, yeah. I was saying, I know we asked you this before, but what's it going to take to get some of the defensive issues under control? Seems like you guys have taken a step back these past few weeks.
We've had our ups and downs, but you got to give Utah their respect. Utah is an incredible team when it comes to driving, kicking, and not settling out the first option, second option, or third option. They're going to use all their options before they get a good shot. And, with a team like that, we need that. We need that. We need to go against that. And I think even though we got 2 losses from them, I think ultimately we learned from it.
Hey, Christian Clark here. We've asked Stan a lot about like schemes and all that. Do you think like tonight? I mean, is that like how much of that was just a matter of like I don't know? I mean, pride and energy and effort on the defensive end. I mean, was that a part of it?
Yeah, that was a part of it, but it wasn't as big as part of it as it was the game before. Like I said, you just got to give Utah the respect. They hit some shots where, even in my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, it's off, but they hit some big shots, and that's what great teams do.
Yeah, what's up? This is Will again. Just where do you think the locker room is right now after losing 7 of the last 8? Just how you guys are feeling about the, just where you guys are headed and what the issues are right now.
Honestly, our team went through something similar to this last year. It's a long season. If we sit here and let that bother us, things aren't going to get better. So it's like I said, we lost, but ultimately we just got to learn from it.
The defense, like coming out of training camp, I mean, it seemed like it was in a pretty good place, and it's in a little bit of a different place now. Is it like hard to keep that level of defense up when you're not really practicing that often? I mean, is that a factor at all? I guess.
It's a little factor. I'm not gonna say it's a big factor, but this is the NBA. Excuse me. This is the NBA. Our opponents are trained to adapt against our schemes, and we're trained to adapt against their counters. So we played amazing defense at first, but we're in that stage where we just gotta learn how to counter it and adjust to their counters.
All right, Z, appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
No problem.
here and start off. Christian Clark, you can go ahead.
Hey, Christian Clark here with Null.com. Where are you seeing the breakdowns right now on the defensive end?
Pick and rolls. That's been the toughest thing for us this year, and I think it's causing a lot of problems on the defensive end. And we're giving up good shots to the other team, and they're hitting them.
And can you just elaborate on that and help us understand why the pick and roll has been so tricky for you guys?
I think we just got to figure out what coverage we want to do. Last game we ran Reds, which is being up, and they were making an extra pass to the corner three. Tonight the guards were coming off. We had them bigs a little bit back, and they were making plays, going downhill. So, Utah's a good team. We just got to get back, and watch the film and try to get better from it.
How concerning is the defense right now, considering that was supposed to be an identity for you guys coming into the season, and it's kind of taking a step back the past few weeks?
For sure. I mean, we gotta do much better on that side of the ball. We know when we play good defense, we give our team a much better chance to win, and that's really all it comes down to is winning basketball games, and we know we have to play defense in order to do that.
Hey, Christian Clark here again. Look, I know, sometimes you're going to make shots, sometimes you're going to miss shots, but outside of just shot making, was there anything you guys were doing offensively in the first quarter that was different than the last three quarters?
I felt like we were running a lot more. We were playing with a lot more, thrust on that side of the ball, and I think we got to try to maintain that for 4 quarters.
Yeah, and that's something you hear from everybody is we want to try to play with a little more pace. Just why do you think it's been difficult to, sustain that for 48 minutes?
I'm not sure. Like I said, we got to look at the tape and just get back to the drawing board. We got to play harder, we got to play better, and we got to start winning.
All right, thank you, Zoe. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.